Everyone knows the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, a hero who's always ready to help those in need and saves the day. But what if the same friendly superhero starts going on a rampage, killing in cold blood, feasting on his loved ones, or even worse? Thanks to evil alien symbiotes, genetic experiments gone wrong, and the multiverse, there are some evil Spider-Man out there. Today we're gonna show you the evilest Spider-Man of the multiverse that will surely haunt your dreams. First, we have Spidercide. Spidercide first appeared in Spectacular Spider-Man issue 222 in 1995. Spidercide is a clone of Spider-Man created by the Jackal and part of the Maximum Clonage storyline, which ran through several Spider-Man titles in the mid-90s. From Earth 616, Spidercide possesses powers like Spider-Man, including superhuman strength, agility, and the ability to cling to walls. He also has organic web shooters and a degree of enhanced durability. However, unlike the original Spider-Man, Spidercide has a more monstrous appearance with elongated claws and a more menacing demeanor. The Jackal made a few tweaks to Parker's genetic material and gave Spidercide the ability to control and alter his molecular state as a shapeshifter. Embracing the sinister moniker Spidercide, he nurtured a deep-seated animosity not only towards Peter Parker, but also his fellow clones, such as Ben Reilly and Kane Parker. Spidercide, with his perilous and unpredictable nature, heightens the sense of dread. Yet what truly sends shivers down the spines of heroes and fans alike is his malevolent grin beneath Spider-Man's iconic mask. Next up, we have Last Stand Spider-Man. Now, this legendary Spider-Man is a man who is both tortured and out of time. In this alternate future envisioned by Madam Web, we encounter a darker and deadlier version of Spider-Man. This Peter Parker took a drastic turn when he chose to avenge the deaths of Kane and Mattie Franklin by killing Kraven the Hunter. This decision had profound consequences, leading to the expulsion of the Avengers and a downward spiral into a more ruthless anti-hero in Spider-Man. Adopting a new attitude and costume, he didn't shy away from making controversial choices, including taking down Dr. Octopus by impaling him with his own tentacle. As the years passed, an older Peter Parker found himself on the run from the NYPD. Visiting his Aunt May's grave, he was well aware that his younger self lurked in the shadows. Confronted by law enforcement, he faced a pivotal choice: surrender and confess to his crimes, or resist. Opting for the latter, he engaged in a fierce battle with the NYPD, ultimately meeting his demise after being shot down. The tale of this Last Stand Spider-Man unveils a complex narrative of vengeance, choices, and the consequences of a path less traveled. Next, we have the Superior Spider-Man. One of the most dangerous and villainous Spider-Man was born when Otto swapped his mind with Peter and took over his body. At first, just like Peter, he took on the responsibility of saving the day as Spider-Man, but his approach to being the web-slinger was a little different. In his newfound life, Otto became obsessed with becoming the better version of Spider-Man. In fact, he even called himself the Superior Spider-Man for that very reason. But unlike Peter Parker, who fought crime based on morals he received from Uncle Ben, this version of Spider-Man enforced justice more brutally, like a dictator. Otto took it upon himself to make quite a few upgrades to Spider-Man's equipment, including adding spider legs similar to his octopus tentacles, adding an AI system that lets the suit move on its own, kind of similar to Iron Man, and even making little spider-shaped robots that he could use to spy on citizens. These spider drones kept tabs on everything in the city, depleting people of their freedom. This, along with some savage acts, resulted in Otto ruining the reputation of Peter Parker among the superhero community, as he used his powers to control the people instead of helping them. Now we have Ghost Spider. In an alternate reality where Uncle Ben never perished, Peter Parker harnessed his spider powers under Ben's guidance, transforming into the Amazing Spider. This acclaimed superhero not only achieved fame, but also amassed wealth as a successful scientist with his own company, Parker Technologies. Motivated by Ben's support, the Amazing Spider devised a plan to enhance his powers by bringing Spider-Man from other universes through advanced transportation technology. However, when he attempted to absorb the powers of the Earth 616 Spider-Man, the feedback from the dimensional portal weakened him. Having brought a weakened Spider-Man to his lair, known as the Web, beneath his mansion, the Amazing Spider temporarily replaced him while recovering. Discovering the perfect nature of this universe, he enlisted the help of Ben Parker, who is alive in this reality. A meeting between the two Peters ensued, with Ben ultimately incapacitating Spider-Man with a sedative-laced tea. Upon awakening in the Web, Spider-Man found himself attached to a machine intended to transfer his powers to the now recovered Amazing Spider. A revelation unfolded. The Amazing Spider, along with Ben, had been bringing different Peter Parkers from various realities to fortify themselves against a looming threat. A clash of ideals led to a confrontation where Spider-Man, realizing the lack of heroism in their actions, resisted. As Ben prepared to absorb Spider-Man's powers, the hero intervened, sacrificing himself to the machine. Though believed to be dead, it was later revealed that he was in a coma, with his spirit trapped in hell. The narrative took a turn when Dr. Banner, the Sorcerer Supreme, intervened. Upon Banner's death in a battle against his alter ego, the Infernal Hulk, he freed Spider-Man's spirit and infused him with the powers of the repentant damned, similar to Ghost Rider. This granted Spider-Man a second chance at life, awakening him from his coma as the Ghost Spider. Buckle up, because this one gets crazy. We have the Symbiote Spider-Man. No one can forget the iconic black suit Spider-Man and perhaps the more iconic Bully Maguire memes. But not many know this story. In Spider-Man Spider's Shadow, we follow an alternate version of Spider-Man that never separated from the symbiote. This Spider-Man, haunted by relentless nightmares and consumed by the feeling that his life is in shambles, takes a dark turn. The symbiote begins to influence our beloved hero, leading to a series of tragic events. Accidentally harming MJ, Spider-Man's attempt to seek help from the Fantastic Four goes awry when the symbiote seemingly malfunctions. Spider-Man crosses paths with the Hobgoblin, and the symbiote urges him to take a lethal path. Instead, he terrifies the Hobgoblin, leaving him as a haunting message to other super criminals in his way. As Spider-Man seeks reconciliation with his estranged Aunt May, tragedy strikes. Unbeknownst to him, the Hobgoblin, now aware of Spider-Man's civilian identity, wreaks havoc. Grief-stricken and enraged, Spider-Man undergoes a monstrous transformation, vowing to use his newfound power to protect his loved ones at any cost. Spider-Man adopts a lethal approach to crime fighting, confronting criminals and even threatening J. Jonah Jameson. The Kingpin attempts to eliminate Spider-Man, leading to a showdown with hired assassins Scorpion and Shocker. Yet Spider-Man turns the tables, seemingly eliminating the Kingpin himself. Up next, we have Chasm. Ben Reilly, another clone of Peter Parker, embarked on his heroic journey under the name Scarlet Spider. Throughout the years, he even occasionally donned the mantle of Spider-Man. However, Ben grappled with his mental health from his frequent cloning experiences. Upon his return from his initial demise, Ben Reilly underwent a startling transformation, evolving into a new iteration of the menacing Jackal. Despite reforming briefly as Spider-Man, his memories were wiped by Beyond Corp, and he was exposed to transformative chemicals that altered his physique. Thus, Reilly metamorphosized into the formidable villain known as Chasm, driven to reclaim his memories from the original Spider-Man at all costs. Next, we have Zombie Spider-Man. Appearing in the Marvel Zombies universe, Peter Parker from Earth 2149 contracted a zombie virus from another dimension. Trying to get Aunt May and Mary Jane out of the city, this Spider-Man succumbs to his hunger and eats not only MJ, but his beloved Aunt May as well. As if that wasn't bad enough, he retains his intelligence, personality, and special abilities, and is fully aware of everything he is doing, including eating his loved ones. He also doesn't feel any type of pain, even when he broke his leg, and it was practically hanging on for dear life. Horrified by his actions, he couldn't control his hunger and joined a collection of heroes who consumed Galactus in order to feed with cosmic power. This Spider-Man variant is straight out of a horror movie. We have Patton Parnel. This Peter Parker variant from Earth 51412 was vicious even before he became Spider-Man. Parnel had a thing for torturing animals and even his neighbors' pets. He would even peep on his next-door neighbor, this Earth's version of Mary Jane, Sarah Jane, with binoculars through her bedroom window. He would even fantasize and plot stealing samples from her bedroom, whatever that means. Just like the Spider-Man we know, he gains Spider-Man's abilities from the radioactive spider bite, but he takes the name Spider-Man literally. He begins to mutate into a spider. His hands start webbing up and he suddenly has the urge to consume blood. He initially starts out with small animals like rats and pigeons, but then moves on to humans, with his first victim being his own Uncle Ted, who had been abusive towards him. The more he ate, the more powerful he'd become. With great power comes a great appetite. The worst part comes when he finds out that the spider that bit him transfers its egg by biting, which eventually leads him to biting not only his Uncle Ted, but his next door neighbor Sarah as well. He invites Sarah over and bites her into the neck and chases after her like something straight out of a slasher horror movie. This psychopathic version of Spider-Man pretty much made the opposite decisions that Peter would have and is one of the scariest and evilest versions in the multiverse, but believe it or not, has nothing compared to our last two variants. Next, we have Poison, and oh boy, where do I even begin? In this Spider-Man variant from Earth 7134, our web-slinging hero's journey takes a dark turn after his battle with Morlun. He was beaten so badly that he lost his eye and was hospitalized. Morlun tried to finish what he started, but MJ came to the rescue. Morlun snapped her arm and threw her against the wall, triggering a primal response from Peter. Instead of fighting like Spider-Man normally would, he got up from his hospital bed and fought more like a spider would. And after pinning the vampire down with these spiky protrusions from his arms, he devoured its face. After this battle, Spider-Man would seemingly die in MJ's arms. Thanks to What If Spider-Man Other, this tale continues and becomes even more twisted. Peter Parker, symbolically encapsulated in webbing, undergoes a dream encounter with the Great Weaver. The Weaver offers resurrection, transforming Peter into both man and spider. However, Peter rejects this, opting to remain in a cocoon without the spider spirit. As his demise nears, the Venom symbiote senses the void left by the rejected spider half. Escaping prison, the symbiote forcibly bonds with Peter over months, tormenting him physically and psychologically. The resulting monstrosity, now called Poison, confronts Aunt May and Mary Jane, seeking companionship. Poison attempts to abduct MJ, proposing to puppeteer her without troublesome female impulses. Wolverine and Luke Cage intervene, but are easily defeated. Against her will, Mary Jane agrees to Poison's terms, but vows to make him pay. Surprisingly, Poison abruptly leaves, and Mary Jane never sees him again. The reason remains unclear, however, after this, Poison resurrects his long-lost love, Gwen Stacy. Poison subjects her to the same process, creating a mate for him in his own twisted image. And our last Spider-Man variant on the list is probably the most menacing of them all, the Spider. This unique amalgamation of Peter Parker and Deadpool's humor possesses a menacing demeanor, heightened even more by his fusion with the symbiote Carnage. The Spider is described as a ruthless, psychotic killer. Unlike traditional Spider-Man, he revels in violence, showcasing a bloodlust that extends to eliminating mutants, including a powerful child named David Richards, a kid who is set to become the most powerful mutant in his reality. His sick sense of humor matches his disturbing actions. In his universe, the Spider earns 67 consecutive life sentences, hinting at a dark past filled with heinous crimes. That being said, he isn't completely without any loyalty. The Spider intervenes to protect Hyperion from the Hulk and Firestar. Despite his acts of violence, the Spider taunts and mocks his victims, demonstrating his sadistic side. He torments Firestar and even asks her what it's like to eat her own arm. Firestar eventually seeks revenge, using her powers to scorch the Spider to his death.